So now you have already known about the background of the cluster schools, its implementation, and also its selection criteria. How about the cluster school management? Hi everyone, my name is Fatin Shahira binti Muhammad Syaifuddin, and today I will explain what you have to know regarding its management. So there are 8 things that we will discuss, which are: the first one is leaders, secondly the teachers, then we're gonna have cluster school student selection method. Number 4, I will talk about accountability of school leaders. Then the fifth point is school autonomy. Okay, number 6, list of autonomy areas. Number 7, we will talk about the quality assurance. And last but not least, we will discover about role of other agencies involved in cluster school management. These are the points and the leaders of cluster schools. Okay, the first point is leaders of cluster schools. The leaders of cluster school are of course the principals with grade of DG52. Okay, the school principal is the highest ranking administrator in an elementary, middle or high schools. Principals typically report directly to the school superintendent but may report to the superintendent's designee. Usually an associate superintendent in larger school districts. The highest ranking school level administrator in some private school is called the headmaster. Headmasters have many of the same responsibilities as principals, but they may engage in additional activities such as fundraising. Okay, in some school districts, a single person functions as superintendent and principal. Okay, principals, headmasters, and others who are responsible for the overall operation of a school are often called school leaders. In an era of shared decision making and site-based management, the term school leader may also be used in reference to other school administrators and leaders within the school, such as assistant principals, lead teachers, and others who participate in school leadership activities. Okay, the next point under leaders of cluster schools is selected leaders who meet the criteria of an excellent leader. Who are they? Educational leaders play a pivotal role in affecting the climate, attitude, and reputation of their schools. So they are the cornerstone on which learning communities function and grow. With successful school leadership, schools become effective incubators of learning, places where students are not only educated, but challenged, nurtured, and encouraged. On the other hand, poor or absent school leadership can undermine the goals of an education system. Okay, when schools lack a strong foundation and direction, learning is compromised and students suffer. Most positions, other than aides and teaching assistants, require at least a bachelor's degree. Some require a master's degree or even the doctorate in education. Regardless of your level of study, plenty of education-related positions are out there. For some positions, such as teacher, you will also need to get certified. This can involve both passing exams as well as a certain number of hours in the classroom. Now let's move on to the second point. These are the points under teachers of cluster schools. Okay, teachers of cluster schools. Teachers of cluster surely must meet the criteria of an excellent teacher. Effective teachers are critical to the development and academic success of students. If you are looking to become a good teacher, you need to showcase strong skills in communication, teamwork, time management, problem solving, and organization. Then you should put these skills to work to educate your students. Good teachers often have these qualities and characteristics, such as effective goal setting, clear communication, acting as a role model, adaptability and flexibility, preparation, self-reflection, lifelong learning, promoting a love of learning. Last point for teachers of cluster schools is class to ratio of 1 to 2. Why? This is because they can focus solely for their classes and they know the students better this way. Okay, these are the point and the classes school student selection methods, as you can see. Classes school students have gone selection methods. Cluster of fully residential schools, technical secondary schools, and national religious secondary schools is maintained. In other clusters, the principal or head teacher is authorized to accept a small number of new students for the school niche area. The screening tests use the terms screening and assessment are not interchangeable. Screening is a preliminary process for identifying from all the children those who may be at risk of future difficulty in school, for example, such as inability to meet academic expectations, and those who may have special needs in learning, for example, extraordinary abilities and talents or handicapping conditions. Okay, in both cases, the identified children must be assessed more carefully to evaluate whether they do indeed require adaptations of the regular instructional program or qualify for specialized educational placement. Next, these are the points under accountability of school leaders. Accountability of school leaders is based on key performing indicators, KPI, management of human and physical resources, financial resources, staff professionalism development, effective curricular and co-curricular programs, quality school levers such as academic achievement, co-curriculum and character, and terms of reference for cluster schools. Accountability occurs when individuals reliably deliver on their commitments, showing others they can be trusted to do what they say they will do. Leaders further demonstrate accountability by taking responsibility for the outcomes of their actions and decisions, and successfully transforming effort into results. Next, we move on to point number 5, school autonomy. Policymakers see it as a way to make schools more responsive to local needs and specific contexts. Autonomy is a powerful management practice that has seen positive results in various sectors and industries, but it can also be a double-edged sword. Without strategy guidance, accountability frameworks, or collaborative mechanisms, school heads and teachers can feel lost in the face of growing responsibilities. When implemented effectively, however, school autonomy shares the responsibility for education across all actors, recognizing and leveraging their distinct roles to ensure the best outcomes for students. Cluster schools are granted autonomy in the following forms. Okay, general for all schools and also specific according to school needs, which are dependent on school type, studies, and niche areas. And for the autonomy of cluster schools, it is guided in which cluster schools required to be compliance with the following standards. Okay, Education Act 1996, National Education System, Financial Procedure Act 1957, Treasury Circulars and Guidelines, and newsletters, and also Malaysian Education Quality Standard. Okay, let's move on to the next point, list of autonomy areas. In education, the concept of autonomy is perhaps most commonly discussed in reference to professional independence in schools, particularly the degree to which teachers can make autonomous decisions about what they teach to students and how they teach it. For all the autonomy in school clusters, it covers the area of school management, human resource management, financial resource and physical resource management, curriculum management and implementation, and also co-curriculum management and implementation. Next point, number 7, quality assurance. To ensure the quality standard of cluster schools is constantly improving, the quality assurance of cluster schools employs the external control mechanism and internal controls. You know what it is? External control mechanisms are controlled by those outside an organization and serve the objectives of entities such as regulators, government, trade unions, and financial institutions. These objectives include adequate debt management and legal compliance. Internal control is a process for assuring of an organization's objectives in operational effectiveness and efficiency, reliable financial reporting, and compliance with laws, regulation, and policies. Last but not least, role of other agencies. Cluster schools will extend the roles of the Parent-Teacher Association, Board of Governors, alumni, and NGOs in terms of scholarship, financial funding, academic excellence program, co-curriculum excellence program, and career program. Okay, in a nutshell, knowing what successful systems are doing does not yet tell us how to improve less successful systems. That is one of the main limitations of international surveys, and that is where other forms of analysis need to kick in. Education policymakers can benefit from international comparisons in the same way that business leaders learn to steer their companies towards success by taking inspiration from others and then adapting lessons learned to their own situation. Okay, for policymakers in education, this can be achieved through various forms of benchmarking. Okay, benchmark, such as analyzing observed differences in the quality, equity, and efficiency of education between one country and another, and considering how they are related to certain features of those countries' education systems. I think that's all from our group. Thank you so much. Okay, these are the references used for our presentation. Thanks for watching. Bye.